Sure you get. So they quickly gave what is called temporary waiver to enter America for a purpose. Like, okay, you're going to the US. Where are you going in the US? I'm going to this place and I want to go to that place. So specifically, you go to that place, okay, and you leave, please. That arrangement that they do and well. Sure, you know. You know, say America and Russia, they know they though before now. You know, say America and Russia know they agree. But when they call for United Nations meeting for New York, Putin go. Anytime when you want go, you know. And he has to go there, go into America. He will fly into America. They will say, President of Republic of Russia is about to land. He's going to go there. Now, the only person when they go anywhere now, Kim Jong-un, that one mad. Sure you get. So there's always that, diplomatic waiver, diplomatic this and that. What if he becomes the president in Ko? No be Nigeria. What if they can't declare a winner? We can't say Nigeria president is wanted in America. We can't decide quickly change the book and change the book. So they gave him the waiver. I know that one. I know that one very sure. Because you know why? America arrested Atiku's wife. Then jailing wife for money laundering. You dey hear me? Then jail American congressman, person will be House of Rep member for America, collected bribe to pay and transfer that bribe to Atiku. Some of the bribe were paid to his wife, Jamila Atiku, to the point that America arrested her for money laundering. All thanks to Obasanjo, because normally, they check diplomatic baggage and luggages in airports. You don't. It don't matter, even if na Zimbabwe, even if na Somalia. Once you have diplomatic seal on it, except if they specifically ask them that go and search them. And diplomatic cover actually covers family members too. All you have to put diplomatic. They have that seal. Have you been to airport? Like I've actually been to I've not been to the VIP. But I've been to the airport where I've seen the people sitting down in the VIP. And I can see them, let's say like diplomatic seal. The seal can't be like this blue, red, diplomatic. You don't open them. But when they go to America, the wife of the vice president of Nigeria, one of the wives of the vice president of Nigeria got stopped at American airport. And they found their bags of cash. And then when they were doing their investigation, they realized that she's been laundering money from Nigeria. In fact, what they found in her pocket, in her own, the money that she's laundered within that short period of time was actually over $80 million. It's online. All these things are there for you to read. They are not hidden. They are not secrets. They are open. So when they arrested his wife, arrested his friend, arrested few other people in America, and Siemens, where they give them the bribe, and those who gave them, they themselves are already facing Congress hearing in America. I want to so Atiku say bye-bye, yo. I know they come America. Until 2019, when they have to give him, like I said. And since that time, he never go back. So that was when the APC, when they saw him in America. Hey, Atiku is in America. It's fake. It's real. It's not fake. You remember that first term of APC? Saraki was the Senate president, Abi? Sure you remember? Well, you should remember. Come on. So Saraki and others, and they led Atiku to America then. So that's why they said Atiku was like bonded into America. So that's why they are now calling it. Now APC, they call him Adimeru. They say Adimeru, that Saraki packed Atiku with his bag and luggage and everything. Can't clear him because Saraki be Senate president. So Saraki as the diplomat. No. Atiku, as as a diplomatic passport that Saraki will never touch. Do you understand? Yeah. Saraki used to have it. They've taken it back. Once you leave that space, they will take it back from you. Then you go back to your normal passport. But you see, when you are president and vice president, right? For life. If I dey lie, oh yeah, tell me, because in Nigeria, sometimes, you know, good me person can't they talk nonsense, can't they talk am with confidence. But sha, no, I read them somewhere, sha, that if you are president and vice president for life, you keep it. Governors, all of they collect it back from them. They don't keep it, right? And Senate president or governor cannot use, and then also, diplomatic passport doesn't really cover what do you call it? Your head. It only covers you, only you. Okay. Saraki is the one with the diplomatic cover. With that diplomatic immunity. You see, everybody will follow him as his entourage, right? What they have is diplomatic courtesy, which is a cover that is at the discretion of those who are welcoming you. Okay. So if they are going to search everybody, they may not search you as Saraki or as Obasanjo, as Atiku. Everybody around you, if they look for you, Baba, now from Gatwick to Galonio, so just so you know, okay, Atiku doesn't need Saraki. Now this one, they are in America. They said it's in a Tambua diplomatic passport. Atiku take enter. No, that's not true. Okay, so yeah, it's actually he got invited. All right, so these guys pay a lot of money to lobbyists. Okay, I don't know why they need American validation, but they all went there, and they will come here too. They're still coming to the Chatham House. I be waiting, they call that place Chatham House. Abi, Tifnumbu self go still go to America. They will say he's going to America. You know, they all need those validation, because normal, they have conquered majority of of the people back in Nigeria, that they can't think for themselves or think straight that much, right? So they just need the validation to make them feel like, well, internationally. So Atiku is in America. His friends are also with him. This is not a real picture, by the way, so that you don't start looking for it like maybe, sure you get. Now people where they craze, now then make America, USA, Washington, D.C. shirt for Atiku. Sure you get now. So, however, his own friends who followed him there, they were there to give him moral support when he's going to be. You see, he's a court jester. They go everywhere. Dino. So, and yeah, they got me. I've been waiting for the video of what they discussed, but I haven't seen any. I've just been seeing photos and photos and photos. But yeah, they are there. Okay. Oh, Emeka Ihedioa, that's your guy. Then yeah, here. So you have a team. I think yeah. So he's in the US, and at a point, someone even like captured the entrance. Something not so, you know. Mhm. So when they say, yeah, Atiku walk, waka jeje.
Please come forward. Very smooth, like very long.
Yes. So that was what do you call it? Atiku in America. So if I get anything more, I'll share that, because now you can say he can't. Well, you know, if he become your president, that won't matter anymore. Same thing with Tifnumbu as well. Whatever drug charges and all of that stuff is, but it's just like compromise on them as well. That's another story, by the way. When they have compromise, when this Western world have compromise on your criminal leaders, right? Eventually, they just have to do what they are told to do, even if they have to like hurt you again and again and again as they do, right? They will just have to do what they have to do, right? Because they will have compromise on them. Now, talking about compromise, I don't know which kind of compromise we then get for our own Oba, royal father, Obaba. See, I'm a Yoruba man. Mm? And I also know about Yoruba culture and tradition. And I also know that the number one keeper of our own tradition and culture, the sacred, the sacredness of what they are mostly the royal fathers, Abi. But I will be deceiving myself, if I turn around, or should I say, yeah, I'll be deceiving myself if I turn around and say, and face my own, let's say, my children, and lie to them that our royal fathers in Yoruba land, they are not representing our culture and tradition, even if they and those who actually like them want to tell us that Yoruba culture and tradition has anything to do with them in Jerusalem, àbí Israel, àbí Corinth, àbí Thessaloniki, or wherever they come from, then that you will carry the Igbakeji Orisha to this place. But check it out. So when you now see the Igbakeji Orishas, who will tell you that what happened is their own Bible tells them that after performing all of the traditional rites, the ones that we call sacred, something that actually makes them kings, and they turn around and they could be like this in a church. Are you saying it's the wrong thing? I said no. It is hypocrisy, my friend. Okay, the process and the procedures that produces a king in Yoruba land, has nothing whatsoever, no connection, no relationship, with any of this religion, and you know it. You do. But however, you can say, everybody can shout hallelujah, and at the same time, we can also at the same time scream, our culture, our tradition are dying. Yeah, they are dying. The killers, those who are killing them, are the ones you are putting crowns on. And I hope maybe, maybe in my own lifetime, we can possibly just end it and say, well, you know what? Take it out of our own system and put it in the history book. Because what we have now are not representatives of our culture and tradition, but charlatans and opportunists, right? Who all they need is just use that same Yoruba culture and tradition as a stepping stone. Then they can now trample upon it and say, why are you asking me that question? Aláyélúwà, Igbákejì Òrìṣà, Ọba Aládé nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, ní ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì àbí ní mọ́ṣáláṣí, ìrọ̀lẹ́ bá ń bẹ̀. You know what I mean? Ìrọ̀lẹ́ ṣe kí ni o? Alhaji Ọba, Dikin Ọba, òṣì lẹ́ ń ṣe, òṣì òun lẹ́ ń ṣe. Ẹ bá tanra yín tán, jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn gbọ́. Anyway, that's on the side. Talking about the aberration, the aberration of the tradition and all that. Same way I feel kind of insulted when maybe because I grew up, in in a community where where I experienced culture and tradition firsthand, where I know that people can put up different faces out there. They can put up different, pretense and all that. But there are some things that are just mismatched. They don't match. They don't match together, no matter what. So if you want to be a choir master, if you want to be whatever in your church, you actually have to let that tradition and culture, you have to leave it for those who actually understands this and indeed are willing to promote and protect it. Because Do you know that Yoruba itself is a religion? Do you know that? It's because of those that we have been putting their crowns on clowns. And now we are witnessing a circus in Yoruba land. You know what I mean? So I was reading somewhere and somebody said, Murik, you know that madman? You know that Muri Akinola, Abiye Akintola, that professor, something, that madman. The guy came and, is the one that is currently being sponsored to continue to steer the water, the religious water in Yoruba land. Have you been following him? Right. Is the guy behind the campaigns that, in Yoruba land, when I was growing up, you would have, they called them Isaac, Ishak, Isaac Akintola, God bless you. That madman, oh, that madman. If you are if you are his son or daughter and you are watching me right now, see, I'm so sorry, right, that you have to hear it from somebody like me say your papa na madman, okay? But somehow, if you self reason and well, somehow, is this religion now, or madness? Now that's the person. Now when we're growing up, right, you will get to say these ones are missionary schools, these ones are Muslim schools, okay? It got to a point that we even had Adulawo. That Adulawo is something you can call African, like African religion education center. I saw all of that in my hometown, Odogbolu. Let's limit it to Christian Muslims now. So you have St. Paul's, you have St. This, you have Anglican, you have St. John. You know what I mean? Like, then you have Muslim primary school, Muslim secondary school, say Aketola secondary school, this one and that. So you could go to any of these places if, number one, there are places whereby they are missionary schools whereby controlled and owned by churches, like missionaries. They call them missionaries, Anglican missionary, African missionary school. So they were educating everybody. There was no, no rancor, no yawa, no nothing. But there were also schools that they would say, this one, no, now Our Lady, something. So now Christian school. And you will still see Muslims attend there. No yawa, no wala, no nothing. And it's been like that. Everybody's getting their education. I mean, you know what I mean? But there are places whereby they will say this one now Islamic school. Ansaruddin Islam primary school, Ansaruddin secondary school, Awaru Islam secondary school. You know what I mean? So if you send your child there and you are not a Muslim, you can't go in there and start saying they are doing 5 prayers in a day. What's your business? Why did you send your child there? Or they are asking my daughter to wear hijab. Like, hello, you probably could go to other places which align with yours. And we've always been like that. For those who really care, there are many who don't. I went to Muslim primary school, Dogbolu. Then I went to Dogbolu Grammar School. There were my mates who went to St. John, St. Paul's, waiting again. I don't know. Many of them, they are Babalawo children, Alpha, Omo Pastor, all that stuff. We went to all these places, even in the Dogbolu Muslim primary school. Omo Lorisha, Omo Babalawo, Omo anybody, you know what I mean? And also we go to sing Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin on the what do you call it, on the assembly line every morning. Do you get that? Nobody really saw us. Or you see this Shoko Akintola, that madman. They said the guy, he started a campaign in Ilorin. He's been doing that campaign down to the west proper, asking that why are these Christian schools not allowing Muslims, what have you, to wear hijab? Now that's become so big that almost state governors, they have to deal with protests here and there. Now they say the Were man is now saying, how could they have GCE centers, YX centers, inside the redemption camp, and they don't have mosque there for the students who are going to use that center, and they are turning all the Muslim students back. That's why I call him a madman. Oh. His own pain is that the entire redemption camp, a private property, saying that Redeem get money. I remember that time when they said that Marwa sold them that land. That was, I was born in Lagos, right? In 1984. So 3 months after my birth, my mom and myself, we moved down to Ijebu, right? So I then lived in Ijebu. From that 3 months old baby, I didn't leave Ijebu until I turned 15. So, and I happen to be somebody who is always very, very inquisitive. I mean, people always told me that it don't be everything you go to ask. What must it's okay, shut up. So I've always been like somebody who always so inquisitive, curious. So when I was being taken to Lagos again, after 15 years, that I was allowed to go and spend my holiday in Lagos. Remember, my dad, most of my family and everyone, if they live in Lagos, they were like, doing well, Baderos. If you don't know Badero, you can Google them. Baderos. Quite all right people, right? So I was being taken back to Lagos for the first time in my life. So when we got to that part, and then this my old man who was driving, I said, what are they doing here? I like, Baba Kile Ibolele. Is this place they call Redemption Camp? Redemption Camp. He said, yes. Say, you see this place, so? Now, stone throw. I don't know if you have been told that same story. Okay, because I'm getting older now, so maybe some of you have heard the same story before. My old man said it was a Marwa. It was a Marwa who was, who actually sold the place for them. I was like, okay. He said when they wanted to sell the land, that redemption camp, which is now your redemption camp today, they told them to throw stones. So they have to keep throwing stone. So when they find the farther the stone goes, that will be one. So the Redeem has more than 1,000 hectares of land in that place. That was what my old man told. He said, you see what they want to do here? I don't know. I don't think they will just want to build church here. Oh. The land they have here can build a huge and big city. I'm talking about, when should that be? I'm talking about 1998, 1999 or thereabout. Redeemed Church bought their land with money, like offerings and tithes and everything. With their money, it's their land, not government land anymore. And it is meant to be like a Christian city, which means, number one, if you go and live there, you can be a Muslim, you can be a Christian and what have you, right? There must have been something that tells you that you are going into the midst. You are going into the midst of people who are of this faith. And this is them. Opposite them, they have Nasfat. Nasfat too. When I was growing up, then I started seeing Nasfat. They themselves, they bought like thousands of hectares in that same Lagos Ibadan Expressway. I even went there for vigil. Now then I know say Muslims self they do vigil. When I was growing up, we know they do vigil. Now only church. When I was going to Kerubu and Seraphu as a boy, we they do vigil. Whether they do deliverance for me then, like Egbe Orun, all my Egbe, my mate with the heaven, we no one make her enjoy life. We won't drag me back. So for Kerubu and Seraphu, then they go vigil. Now, Nasfat, I realized that they do vigil too. That we're like praying, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah for Nasfat. As people they pray, Holy Ghost, Holy Ghost fire, Holy Ghost fire. Opposite there, they do Holy Ghost Congress. We will they do Nasfat vigil. So which simply means right? It is a deliberate provocation because Were Akintola is now asking, why are there no mosque inside redemption camp? That's where they start. So if you are his son or his daughter, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry, like personally to you, or your papa na wiri. I'm not sorry about that one. Okay, but I'm sorry how you might feel as Akintola, Rachel Akin. Abi, what's your name? Hmm? Or your papa na madman. That is exactly what I said you should look out for from this man. He intentionally steer all kind of religious, what do you call it, nonsense, and it is deliberate. It is. That's not how to. I mean, well, I don't know. Maybe because I grew up in the wrong time, or should I say the right time, and now living in the wrong time. When I was growing up, religion, all these things, right? They don't cause us to start feeling like somebody's, more better than us, or is no. We're like a community. We're community then. But you see these likes of these guys with what Nigeria has become. With what Nigeria has become, you can keep on looking. Because I said something else. I said it's not limited to that. All this media hype and all that you listen to all the time from him, right? They are just pretty much like just wetting, just water the floor, water the ground. This helping them to recruit other fanatics in Yoruba land. And by the time they they graduate from his school of his, what do you call it, religious fanaticism that is bringing to Yoruba land, you'll be so surprised that, wow. So we now have many Akintola here. Yes, there are many who are going through his tutelage right now. If somebody like that is not really called out early enough, we have a bigger problem in our hands, and that's it's even worse than whatever you might have read about Nigeria. I'm saying this to you because how do you fight those that you probably wish they? I mean, you probably see as your brother, the people you believe that you are fighting for. How do you have to turn around and then turn on them and fight them because of what they have turned to? That's why I'm saying this now. So you, all of you young people in Yoruba land, the likes of those who are pushing religious, ethnic, and tribal narratives in everything they do there, trying to tell you how this tribe is superior to that tribe, how your tribe is superior to that tribe. All those who bait you with those things, right? They don't mean well for you. I can tell you this for free. Well, I'm saying it for free. They don't what? Mean well for you. And that is why, if you look deeper into all the characters who have been active, the active players in all of the Nigeria Wahala that you know of, you will realize that they are using the same line, the fault line, the what do you call it? The default line, so to say, the line where once they throw the slow word, if you are an Igbo man, you will know they are talking to you. If you are a Yoruba man, you will know that this law is for you. If you're a Fulani and Hausa man, you know this is also for you. And that is existing in a frauderia where you are still lying to yourselves that something might still happen to change your story. And I'm saying it to you now. Nothing is going to happen until you make something happen. And what you should make happen first is to drop that dream, that lie, that these rogues, any of them, has a kind of a solution that will take you out of any kind of a logjam you are into right now. They are going to dig you further into it. I mean, probably if they actually dig you further into it, and you realize how deep it's become, if you manage to get out of it, I bet you would never, well, maybe I shouldn't bet it anyway because it's Nigeria. You probably would never want to experience same. Or maybe you would, because what's the issue? Or what's actually the problem right now? The problem is that the people complain, they suffer, they die, right? But they have something that is going for them, and that is they love to do same thing again and again, even though they want a different result. Then they do it again, and they get beaten and burnt. Some of them die. They regret, they curse, they weep, they cry. Then the moment for them to change their story and stop this, the circle of this violence, they do it again. Eh? That That's a big problem, isn't it? Or we have those who are currently learning and believing that sometimes when something doesn't really break, it can be fixed. You know that? Somebody said that, Mayegun, if some things are not broken, there is no point in fixing them. Sometimes when they break, you can't fix them, but you can actually, produce something kind of a finer from the ashes of the broken and ruined one. And I said, oh, okay, I would love to see that. Even though breaking up of a country into to align with the belief, tradition, yearning, and goals of the people in the areas that decide to come together as one. Listen to me. There is a country called Malta. Some of them, you are going to pay 1 million naira to get their visa. Do you know the population of that place? 500,000 people. Do you get that now? Eh? And there's a country called what do you call it? Scotland here. Do you know the population of Scotland? 4.3 million people. And you can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on like that, and you realize that you see, you have been lied to, that you are likely going to be unable to sustain or survive on your own. That is not true. The reason why you have not you are not showing that potential of being able to stand on your own or being able to do things ourselves is because we are part of Nigeria. We're meant to remain poorer. We're meant to maintain that poverty in a way that when 1, 2, 3 of us are out of that poverty, 1, 2, 3 people out of 1 million, when they're out of that poverty, we should celebrate that. It's grace. I mean, look at it. 1 million people are still in poverty anyway. So you were made to believe that this is all you have. This is all you've got. And if you don't care, or if you dare lose it, you will lose everything. Listen, you've lost everything. Nigeria has made us lose everything. So many people today are currently saying that I wish I knew what I know now 10, 20 years ago. I wish I had the opportunity I have now 10, 15 years ago when I was younger. I could probably have become something better, someone better or greater than this. But you know what I mean? There are people who have told me that. Like, man, I wish and they didn't see these opportunities until after they left Nigeria. You know what I mean? So they are shrinking the opportunity space in Nigeria and shrinking it. And the only thing that could happen is the bubble. Sure, you guys. So if there's going to be anywhere for us to create opportunities for ourselves, it's going to be from where we understand ourselves. I mean, listen, it's not going to be, it's not going to be a rocket. Should I say it's not a rocket science as they say, right? But it's not going to be like an overnight change. You get? You have to be able to feel like you want to try something different. I know the whole front right now is being sort of infiltrated, and people have been so cut off here and there. But you see what you have here, what you know. There's no amount of falsehood, no amount of manipulation should be able to take them away from you, and that is the truth. Now, if you keep that, that's plus one of those who have heard that truth and known that truth, and they will want to live by that truth and possibly make a difference with that truth. But if you make it drop and drop off every time you hear it, and you're just feeling like, well, I don't think it's possible, I don't think it's going to be doable, and all of that stuff, and at the end of the day, you just drop it, that's minus one. You see, this Nigeria, it can't be sustained. It's unsustainable. Like, forget it. I've told people, I said, listen, when we say people should come together at this point and decide if they still want to be part of Nigeria or not, it is just for the good part of. And if they want to be part of Nigeria still, if the majority says still, we still want to be part of Nigeria, definitely they will never, definitely they will never want to settle down for this kind of Nigeria. It's not serving anyone, is it? It's not serving anybody. But again, it's always going to be your choice if you choose to to do different or to be different, so to say. So thank you very much for the part. Now, the last part is just not so much of a part. It's just what we caught on the streets. So today, somewhere in Lafayette, this one are just short clips before I call it a night. Now, from Lafayette, oh, hang on. Oh, I don't know. I'm glad I saw this clip, by the way. Now, you remember this last judgment of the Court of Appeal in favor of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And you also know or remember when Malamu and gang decided that they can't let him go. Nnamdi Kanu is a threat to national security of Nigeria. The irony of life, isn't it? Sad. Now, Nnamdi Kanu has defeated them in all of their courts. For real. Even where they manage to twist the judges to give them some temporary relief and all that, most of these have been overturned by the real judgment of court, which they have refused to obey. Nnamdi Kanu went to appeal court, and the appeal court granted him discharge and acquittal. Malamun since then has been running from pillar to post, begging the appeal court not to do that. Now, their desperation has made them, again, right, to have to change the judges of the appeal court. Now, how can you ask appeal court to rule against itself? Now, it doesn't make any sense. You go to high court. When high court rules, you go to appeal court to appeal it if you don't like what they have said. But going to the same appeal court to tell them to rule against themselves is completely strange. But it is Nigeria, all because they want to keep Nnamdi Kanu away illegally. Now, they asked the court. Now, they didn't ask those judges who gave that judgment in the first place, right? They moved them away. They appointed the different 3 judges again, right? And when they presented the case to them again, and those ones were like, man, they couldn't give any judgment. So they had to say, we'll call you later to give the judgment on this application. What is that application? Nnamdi Kanu's discharge and acquittal still stands. What Malamu asked for now is what is called stay of execution. Stay of execution means, fine, we know you can't rule against yourself, but can you please give us a temporary order that will say we shouldn't carry out that judgment yet? It is called abuse of a legal system or abuse of a judicial system. And that is what APC, Egbekegbe, have been doing since they have been in that place, isn't it? So what did they do? They asked the appeal court to stay execution. Let me tell you something, right? We have 3 arms of government, okay? You have the executive, you have the legislature, then you have the judiciary, okay? Legislature makes laws. Judiciary interprets it. Executive executes the law. Now, you know what I mean? The legislatures makes the law. The law that they wanted to try Nnamdi Kanu with. The judiciary interpreted that law and said the executive was wrong. Now, it is now left for the executive to carry out the order of the judiciary. In that order, legislature, judiciary, executive. When it got to the turn of the executive, the abuse of the judicial process started. You know that. That's what they've been doing. Abuse of the judicial process. So they asked the court, their judge, and said, after we read the law and everything, you were wrong. Let him go. Release him. In fact, pay him. Apologize to him. You're so wrong. What you did is wrong. See, you might have a very good case against him in your own mind. But you see, the way you went about it, you were wrong. No, it's so wrong. But you can do it again. The best way to do is first you correct this wrong, right? get him back and take him back to where you got him from. Then do it properly. Okay? And then use this law to deal with him. Except for that, you're just wasting your time. And they were not happy to carry out that judgment because it's their duty to carry it out. Do you know that? It's the duty of the executive to carry out the order. So they begged them, can you stay for a moment? That's why so if they tell you that they said Nnamdi Kanu will remain in DSS custody, that is what their headline says. But the reason why Nnamdi Kanu will remain in their custody is not because the judgment that released him has been lifted, or it's not been lifted. Though. Now, Supreme Court can cancel that judgment too. Sure, you know. Another appeal court cannot appeal court. Oh. They do the appeal. Oh. It's the same appeal court. Oh. If I'm saying nonsense, please tell me quickly. Oh, all of you will be lawyer here. I'll be political scientist. I not be lawyer, but I kind of have an idea, Sha. I not be dons. Sure, you get me now. So, Nnamdi Kanu, the freedom and the release of Nnamdi Kanu, that judgment stands. But they are begging them to please, don't let us release him now. We will release him, okay? We are going to Supreme Court and fight this, but at this point, because when appeal court say release him, even if you want to appeal it and go to Supreme Court, you will first release him. Do you understand? That is why if you go to High Court, and the High Court says release him, you can appeal it by going to appeal court and say no, we disagree, and you can, and the appeal court will first give you stay of execution, right? And then they will now choose a date for the hearing of the appeal. So with that period, they can keep you in their custody. But when appeal court say release him, discharged and acquitted, you will first release him. Then you can go to Supreme Court to appeal and say, well, Supreme Court, we want you to interpret this, because Supreme Court can sit in a single day and give their judgment. That's it. They don't sit and say, come back tomorrow, come back. They can sit now. They will just read the appeal and read everything, and they would give their own insight into it. They will call the representatives of Nnamdi Kanu, representatives of Nigeria, to just come and give oral, come and say something. You get what I mean? That's what Supreme Court does, though. Supreme Court is not a place where you have to do that same lawyer court. My Lord. No, it's not always like that, though. You just go in there. It's like you want to go and defend your thesis in front of your professor for your PhD and all that, yeah? You just go in there and present yourself and walk out. Their decision will come later. Do you get that? But Nigeria didn't do that. Nigeria begged the appeal court. They didn't even beg them. They changed the judges. They appointed their new ones, 3 new ones. And they told them to stay execution on the judgment of the 3 other appeal court judges in the same court. And that's what happened. So according to this lawyer, we'll explain it better. Listen to this.
Well, reaction is that the court has delivered its ruling in its wisdom. It's the same court that gave judgment on the 13th of this month, ordering a release or a discharge of Nnamdi Kanu. Well, the same court in its wisdom has this afternoon, though a different panel, but the same court of appeal, held that there should be a stay to that same order of discharge, meaning that Nnamdi Kanu will remain in custody. That is, for us as lawyers, we don't have anything to do, I'll say, until, especially knowing that the substantive appeal itself is before the Supreme Court. We go to the Supreme Court and ventilate the case of our client, Nnamdi Kanu. So that is the hope we look forward to, especially against the backdrop that they also made a consequential order that the record of appeal should be transmitted to the Supreme Court within 7 days. That gives a hope, an indication that the appeal will be heard within a record time. So we hope that will take place.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yet that, even on the record of the court, that the lead counsel, Chief Mike Ozekome, who brilliantly argued the appeal on Monday, this application against the federal government, is presently attending the International Bar Association Conference in Miami, Florida. So I heard his brief. Thank you.
So, Nnamdi Kanu's case has been forwarded to the Supreme Court of Nigeria. And like somebody just backed me up there, that I was right. Supreme Court will make their decision behind closed doors. I know it's them, okay? But there is some level. From what I know, which I don't want to bet on, even Malamu, no fit try the kind nonsense they are trying with the appeal court justices or high court justices, that they can't try that with the Supreme Court. I said, okay, I don't want to put a bet on that. Well, I mean, it's Supreme Court now. Supreme Court. Omo. The best they would do is to let Nnamdi Kanu go. Now, you see, for those of you who have been doing night vigil since the day you heard that Nnamdi Kanu should be discharged and acquitted, and he should go home, and he should not be touched, and if there's anything at all that Nigeria can do for their own to save their faces, is to put Nnamdi Kanu in a plane and call Emefiole to go and load that plane with 1.5 billion naira gbese that the case of Nnamdi Kanu has cost Nigeria, because Nigeria is in debt of 1.5 billion now, damages for Nnamdi Kanu, you know that. So the best they could do, put him in a plane, and put the 1.5 billion naira, the gbese you owe him, put that in that plane.
Well, reaction is that,
and fly him straight to Kenya and tell him to find his way. Say, see, no, we no get it to do with you again. Or better still, just open that door and let him walk out, because that is what your court said. That is what Bukwari said, let the court settle it. Your court has settled it. Make una stop all this your night vigil. He go die there. He won't die there. Just same way. Keeping him as they have done and kidnapping him and keeping him under your DSS underground cell. To your satisfaction, or to the satisfaction of your oppressors and your criminal leaders. It hasn't changed your life still. Keeping him there hasn't made your lives better. It hasn't improved your electricity. It hasn't improved your security. It hasn't improved your infrastructure. It hasn't improved your standard of living. More and more of you are falling into poverty, losing your jobs. Businesses are closing up, and all of that stuff. And all of this are supposed to be your concern. Not that, if he come out now, he won't let us vote. Indeed, since you've been voting, how far with your lives since you have been voting? So 1 man freedom is now the reason why your life is stagnant in Nigeria. Is it just 1 man's life? Is that what is holding your destiny? Well, you are not so different from your leader, but your law says free him. The best you can do right now, let him go. Even if you want them to kill him, your law says they shouldn't kill him. But if you don't let him go, what are you going to do? If the Supreme Court, your Supreme Court have to discuss Biafra. Abi, don't you know that when your Supreme Court judges, the justices, when they are reading the case, they will be reading Biafra, Republic of Biafra, indigenous people of Biafra, in the IPOB, indigenous. You do know when they will write their own judgment, they will also have to write Biafra, IPOB, indigenous this, and all of that stuff. It will remain in the record of your Supreme Court. And that, even Nigeria Civil War, conversation around Nigerian Civil War, no reach Supreme Court. Now, if you have hated Nnamdi Kanu so far, Because so many of you believe that, well, they are just giving him attention. He's a nobody. He's this or that. Blah, 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 blah. You are about to see the Nnamdi Kanu that you haven't seen before. Now, you can write this down, no? Because, like somebody said, maybe if Bokwari's hatred for the Igbos did not sort of blinded him, and he didn't, he wasn't full of hate towards the Igbo people, he would have ignored Nnamdi Kanu. He wouldn't have even touched, because he has done nothing to make Bokwari to unleash the state resources, Nigeria resources, Nigeria everything on him and the people of Igbo land. They have done nothing. But because of the hate, because of that kind of, I can't describe it, the vengeance, the revenge also in him, he was blinded by that, and he decided to use almighty Nigeria to crush Nnamdi Kanu. And look at it today. Nnamdi Kanu now has what you can call larger than life personality. He is not here. We'll talk about him. You know what I mean? If he says something, everybody will be like discussing it. If he doesn't say anything, everybody would be discussing. Who made that happen? The hatred for the Igbo people by this Fulani Janja with APC. Don't ever ignore that though. That's exactly what prompted this. And now that Nnamdi Kanu's life and his personality are now even bigger than him. When you see Nnamdi Kanu, you'll be like, so now Nnamdi Kanu be this? Hey! Now the hatred for the Igbo people, that's what that built. Now that this is going to take them to Supreme Court, are you ready for what the outcome is going to be? Are you? I'm just saying, win or lose, as they say, you can never, ever win in the court of your oppressors, but you can embarrass them. That's exactly what Nnamdi Kanu is doing. He knows he can't win fair and square in the court of his his persecutors. He knows, but he's ready to fight them in their court because he can embarrass them there. You know, when you begin to say, how did you arrive at that? Did you not receive the message of the president? I received the message. But when I was reading the case and the argument, I don't know what happened. I just thought that the guy didn't do anything. He didn't do anything, but we want to punish him. That's why we said he should do it. Yeah, but I can't do it. I don't know what happened. I just can't say it. Now you have set him free. Are you mad? Yes, that's exactly what the IPOB is doing. No matter where you belong to. Look at it yourself. Look at it yourself. Out of 7 years of APC, Nnamdi Kanu has been in Bokwari's detention in Nigeria because he's asking for referendum, a peaceful dissolution of Nigeria, right? He has been in Bokwari's detention for over 4 years of that. Out of 7 years, 4 years. And yet, they couldn't really find any single crime, any single evidence, one single one, very strong and powerful one, to prove to you, all of you, what they have told you about Nnamdi Kanu. Just one. Out of 7 years, Nnamdi Kanu has been in their custody for 4 years. With them, they are together like this, back and forth. He's been with them. Yet they couldn't convict him. They couldn't even get a single 1 week conviction. So yeah, because you insulted Buhari, you are jailed for 1 week. You know that kind of thing. That is, he's jailed for 1 week. He's jailed for 1 month. Nothing. Nothing could stick. I just thought I should tell you, even though Malamu may be doing what you want him to do, but it's an injustice. That is one of the reasons why we believe Nigeria is unsustainable. When these guys continue like this, it's unsustainable. And whatever is unsustainable, is going to live out its time. Nigeria will live out a time with this crop of criminals. That's why we are saying now, for those who are smart enough to say, cut, or let me say, sorry, tape the bleeding, speak out, stand up, be counted. Even if you are just the only person standing around your area, make sure you are standing and not bending or pretending to. I won't say more than that. Obi was in Lafia today. Make us show you. But before that, there's this currency change that we are waiting for. You've heard about that. Emefiole, who want to change Nigeria money. They want to redesign it. Sure, you get. So redesigning Nigeria notes, people have begun to give them samples. So if they want to redesign the 100, because they, redesigning your money is not going to increase the value. Do you know that? In fact, because of this redesign, Nigeria don't they take Babala punching by the end of March. By the end of March 2023, you may be exchanging $1 for 1,000 naira. I don't want that to happen because that hurts you so badly. Let me tell you something. No matter how much this sound, how ridiculous, even when you don't understand it very well, like I was saying from the beginning, oh, we don't spend dollars, now we spend naira. I've told you why. I am not happy. Even though Nigeria, when they destroy Nigeria like that, somehow, it makes people like us richer. Do you know that? I know. Maybe I shouldn't use the word. It just makes us more money. And you can say richer. 1,000 pounds. If you are exchanging 1,000 naira for 1,000, 1,000 naira for £1. So my 1,000 pounds is going to give me 1 million naira. 1 million naira is a lot of money, right? Even though the economy is what it is, but 1 million naira, that's a lot. So you will pay. You will pay through your nose. Hunger, joblessness, and your, oh man, I don't know how to break them down for you, but just to give you the tip. The announcement is nonsense. The reason for why they want to is absolute trash. But it has its advantage and disadvantage, but it's disadvantage outweighs advantages. You know what? Everybody don't hear them. So if you see Sabinus for 1,000 naira and a prototype, they call them. Here you get Sabinus and Aki, Abi Popo. Here you get. And if you see what's it with this guy? Lasisi Elenu. They believe that instead of putting two people, how many people had for a year? How many do you have on 500 naira? One, Abi, Azikiwe. You can pull Lasisi there. So even if dollar see this one, I go say, which currency be this? Which money is this one? Is this naira or what? I say, yeah, dollar, naira. I say, I'm scared though. So instead of exchanging $1, instead of exchanging $1 with 800 naira, you can use one Zazu for $1. One Zazu. Because if dollar see this, so just be like, say, more. Sure you get. Or Mr. Macaroni, you can use one macaroni. One macaroni for £1. That would make a lot of this, but that's not going to change anything. You get what I mean now? It's not going to change anything. It is just a mockery. Your 500 naira will still be 5. In fact, it's going to be worse. And I don't think they want to change the names of the face and all that, okay? Because even the finance minister, when they were asking her, finance minister, what did they say? What was this about this change of money and all of that? Like, where would you get money to even print another money? She said, well, I don't know. I have no idea.
To call the monetary authorities because they're the competent authority to do this. We were not consulted. It was an announcement that we heard. And I've seen,
you too, you just saw the press release like every other body.
Part of the reasons that was advocated is that's one of the ways to mop up liquidity to manage inflation. But there are also consequences that we're also looking at. What would the consequences be? There will be some benefits, but there will be some challenges. And I don't know whether the monetary authorities have actually looked very closely as to what the consequences are and then how they can be mitigated. So I still advise that you have that discussion with the monetary authorities.
Anyway, well, that is that from this table of Mayegun tonight. Tomorrow is Sunday, okay? So we should have our Sunday sermon at some point, and that is going to be the No Oats Bar segment, okay? And thank you very much as well. With that guy, Agon. Yeah, Ola Osman. Thank you very much for your super chat, by the way. Very much. Now, this is where we're going to draw the curtains. Okay. I want to say thank you to everyone, as usual. Sorry that I wasn't here the last time, but I mean, it's quite, a busy one over here, but we all follow what is going on back in Nigeria. So thank you for tuning in. Turning up tonight again. I'm going to see you some other time. And until then, remember, don't leave. Don't leave without dropping your own offering, like the broadcast. Share it and subscribe. I'm going to see you some other time, okay? So good night from here.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Mayegun Diary, Diary Politico.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Presido bá rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o àyè.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ̀lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.